What's up, everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today's Friday, December 12th. In today's dog video, we actually have to celebrate what's going to go on next week because we do have a couple panels and possibly an amazing discussion with someone specifically that we do want to talk to about dog and also about runes and also about ordinals and everything on chain. You may know who that is. But before we get into that, we got to understand what's going on in the macro market, because you may have noticed that the crypto market actually took a major liquidation event, and this is to be expected given that quantitative easing technically has started today for the next 30 days. Now, is this just manipulation, or is this an early signal of a capitulation event? Well, I will share with you my personal opinions obviously in this video, and also look into the charting and analysis. Everything about dog that we're going to talk about is going to be very exciting. So let's go ahead and smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to join us on X. Please be careful with anus scammers down in the comments below. I'll never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. So right now, dog is around 108 million market cap, still hovering around the 100 million market cap range, trading sideways. Now, you can possibly see that Bitcoin did take a massive dip. Remember, we saw that quantitative tightening was ending yesterday. The Fed announced that quantitative easing was going to start December 12th, which is today, where they roughly spent around $40 billion worth to buy treasury bills. And what that means is more money printing into the system. That means people can speculate on risk on assets such as AI, tech, even crypto. But why did this capitulation event happen? As you can see, we went from around 92 almost as low, roughly around 89,000, just in a flash crash. Now, why did that occur? So people think that it's the Bank of Japan, where there's going to be this rate hike that they're going to announce on December 19th, which is next week. And that's going to be 25 basis point in terms of a rate hike. So people are thinking that this is the reason why not only the crypto market dipped, but also the stock market as well. But what's really interesting is that the market itself, the crypto market, lost around $70 billion worth of liquidations, or the crypto market extracted $70 billion worth. This to me was market manipulation, because this happened right when the stock market opened. As you can see here, at around 10 a.m. this morning, we saw roughly around $40 billion worth wiped out of just Bitcoin alone, shedding only $2,000 in price, but still that was overall $40 billion worth within Bitcoin itself. Now, what we also saw was roughly around $132 million worth of longs that got liquidated. I don't know why people do leverage trading. I've only seen them lose money. But what's really interesting, whenever we have these bullish events, if it's like rate cuts, if it's like the end of quantitative tightening, there's always some manipulation happening in the market. We can actually see it here on chain. You can see that Wintermute, again, is absolutely behind this. So if you're thinking that, the crypto market is just not doing well because of this whole Bank of Japan rate hike, it's not. It's because whenever you see any event happen, if it's bullish or bearish, Wintermute will work for that or against it. And as you can see, Wintermute is all written all over this. Wintermute will make deposits and transactions on Kraken, on Binance, on Bybit, you name it. It's crazy. That's how Wintermute works. Now, when we look into the meme coin market, SPX is down close to around 5%, Pudgy Penguin's down 2%, Dog Whiff Hat roughly close to 4.5%. We scroll down to around where Dog Bitcoin is, it's actually up 1.5%. That's pretty cool. Now, before we end up talking about Dog Week, which is happening next week, let's look at Shaw. So Shaw, is the listing agent over at Coinbase. Now, over and over, you'll notice that every single post that he has the dog army rating it. As you can see, when I scroll down, you'll see a whole bunch of dog posts. But what's even better is that when you click on this grok icon, and I'm going to go ahead and let this load, what do you think it's going to say? It's most likely going to say what you think it's going to say. And as I scroll down, you'll notice that the thread centers around dog. And it talks about all that, right? This is all dog being mentioned within this thread of Shaw. So Shaw, by the way, since he's a listing agent over at Coinbase, you know for a fact that he actually sees all your posts. There's no doubt about it. I just want to keep in mind for everybody that you just got to keep doing this. You just got to keep Shaw paying attention. Even right now, when Shaw reposts this about an hour ago, he only has one comment. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to write to him right now. So what I said below was, let's get dog on Coinbase if they support the free and fair movement. Community is greater than profit. So I'm going to go ahead and reply to Shaw. So this is just the very beginning, and I really want all of you to keep hitting him up. Now remember, yesterday we brought up that Coinbase announced that on their mobile app that is available to over 120 million users across the world will soon have access to buying decentralized tokens on their decentralized trading platform. And that will be integrated within the actual app of Coinbase. Now the reason this is important is because we actually have a wrapped dog version on Solana, and that is helped by Mind Labs. And so once this is integrated within the mobile app of Coinbase, 120 million users will have access to buying dog on Solana. And that will help not just the user base grow, but also market cap, because that's what we want to do. Operation Dog Domination is here to bring dog to the masses. Now let's talk about the exciting week that's going to happen next week. So on Monday, December 15th, that's the start of next week, at around 10 a.m. Pacific time, blockchain.com is going to host an X Space with myself and Leonidas. We're going to be educating about dog, we're going to be educating about runes. And the reason this is important is because blockchain.com has 1.3 million followers. And my goal, Leonidas's goal, our goal is to educate everybody about dog, because we can't just be in our own bubble within Bitcoin DeFi and just, tell ourselves, hey, we're going to head to the moon. You have to onboard people from many different walks of life, from different blockchains, from different assets, you name it. Once they know and understand dog and are educated, then that's when they start getting curious and maybe doing their own research then to buy it. And the same thing is going on for Stocktwits. So Stocktwits next Thursday, December 18th, is hosting a dog space. And Stocktwits, by the way, actually has a 1.1 million follower account. And this is also very important, is because they're not just crypto native. These are also stock, NASDAQ, S&P 500 type people and crypto people. This is a huge audience. And I absolutely want you to attend both of these. And I want you to retweet this space and just be a part of this. But this will happen next Thursday, December 18th at 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. So set your reminders. And this is actually quite something. Raphael, by the way, shared the X Engagement Leadership Board that I posted. He tagged Mark Yusko, asked him, would you be down to do an interview with Cryptolution Leonidas talking about dog, runes, and possibly what is needed for a dog ETF? Surprisingly, Mark Yusko down the bottom says, in. So he read his comment, and he's pretty much down to have that conversation. And so I've already DM'd Mark, and I'm just awaiting for his response. And so hopefully he accepts the invitation and we can talk about all these different things. But make sure, if you are out there as a Dog Army holder, make sure to reach out to Mark and say, hey, we want to hear you speak with Cryptolution and Leonidas and talk about dog, runes, and the dog ETF. That'd be very much appreciated. As a reminder, I'm still doing the Gemini 20-day challenge. Yes. So right now we're on day 8 of 20, where I'm deploying 0.10 Bitcoin on Kraken exchange to buy dog until Gemini lists dog for spot trading. Now, the reason I've been doing this is because Gemini needs to understand the demand for dog. And if they don't list it, they're going to miss out on all that trading volume and also customer base acquisitions. So a lot of you have been participating in this. And who are those people? Well, let's go ahead and point some of them out. We also have Daily Coin Pulse, who's been buying, or aka dog cost averaging, almost every single day. Then we also have Keys, who bought roughly $100 worth of dog on Kraken. And we also have this person, Hova Beta, who tagged Gemini, which is very important, bought $500 worth of dog on Kraken. Then we also have Derek, who bought roughly $650 dog on Kraken, also tagged Gemini as well. And we also have this person, Dog Sauce, or Bitcoin Dog Sauce, that also bought roughly 7.8 million dog tokens. And guess what? He also tagged Gemini, letting them know he bought it on Kraken. Now, a person I want to give a shout out to is Dan, Crypto Capital Ventures. I've been a long time follower and also subscriber of his YouTube channel, even before 2020. I watched his videos when he was talking about ADA, also Bitcoin, Ethereum. He's a person where I really respect his research. And so he actually made a dog video that's currently being edited, and he's soon going to publish it. Now, I look forward to watching this video because as myself, I love doing data and analytics. I like doing research. They help me remove my emotions, help me focus on the bigger picture. So you should definitely look forward to this video. And if you are a dog holder out there, and by showing support, not only liking and reposting his videos, but make sure on YouTube as well to comment, show your perspective, be supportive, because you will not believe how many people trash on any YouTube influencer, YouTube content creator, content educator on what they're sharing, which is absolutely free. So by just sharing your thanks, make sure to share your comments and support Dan. And I cannot wait for this video to be released. Now let's go into the charting and analysis. So right now, this is where dog is. Isn't it surprising that we saw a 25 base point point rate cut over here on December 10th, and then we saw a dip in the market. And then on December 11th, we saw a green candle. And then all of a sudden, quantitative easing began December 12th, which is today, and then we saw another red candle. This is not some coincidence. This is heavily suspicious, meaning this is all market makers. Because they know every single time there's a very bullish catalyst event, there's always followed by manipulation by Wintermute. But nothing has really changed regarding market sentiment. If you've seen in the crypto fear and greed index for Bitcoin, we're still kind of hovering around the extreme fear, but kind of getting out of that into the fear zone. And this is great because this just goes to show the holders of DOG are very confident. They're not fearful. If anything, you just saw a whole bunch of people buying DOG. And that's what's happening behind the scenes, is that people are actually buying DOG, knowing that this is the highest, most grossing asset that will happen in the meme coin sector. And as I mentioned before in yesterday's video, remember, we are only in this blue section a handful of times. We've only been here 3 other times. One over here, one over here, and one over here. Every single time that we hit these extreme light blue zones, that's the buying opportunity of a lifetime. So right now you're at this exact peak, which we saw back over here on April 2025, which was around a 99 million market cap, believe it or not. Right now we're hovering around 100 million market cap. So this is the time to get as much exposure into DOG, because remember, in the fear and greed index, these zones don't last for that long as they align where DOG's price has bottomed out. So make sure to get there before DOG heads to a parabola event. So as I mentioned before, I'm very bullish around DOG Bitcoin. I've shared with you that we have a very exciting week next week. And, we're going to be with blockchain.com, Stocktwits. We're going to be onboarding new people. And I want all of you to get ready to be a part of the X space. Make sure to shower the comments in the chats. Make sure to support Dan in Crypto Capital Ventures when he releases his videos. Also, let's make sure to tag Shaw. Make sure he knows that DOG is his main goal to pay attention to. And also tag Mark Yusko, making sure that he follows up on an interview with myself and Leonidas to talk about DOG runes and a DOG ETF. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. We have an exciting week next week, but until then, I want you all to have a great weekend. If anything pops up, anything that's complete alpha or breaking news, I'll make another video over the weekend because anything can happen. But just be ready. The market's very volatile, meaning it can go up, it can go down, but either way, DOG is here to stay. So let me know your thoughts down below, what you think is going to happen next week, and I cannot wait to read it. Smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and updates regarding DOG and Moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.